Today is a very special day. I brought something to give to the museum. I brought several things to give to the museum, but one thing in particular, which is very special. I can't tell you what it is until I do it, if you see what I mean. But it's very valuable, and I think this is the proper place for it.
You made a film about Strawinski.
Yes.
How many people saw this film? Maybe
Well, the film was finished in 1982. It was made for the 100th anniversary of his birth, and it's been seen, I think, in pretty well every country in the world. But interestingly enough, when we made the film, of course the Soviet Union still existed, and so we had to get permission to come to the Soviet Union, and I wanted to interview Stravinsky's cousins, who still lived in Leningrad as it was then, and I wanted to film some of the ballets with the Bolshoi and so on, so I gave them a list of what I wanted to do. And one of the things I wanted to do was to come to Ustilug, because I knew that this is where Stravinsky had lived with his first wife. And it was the only thing that they said, "Niet," very clearly, "Niet." And I didn't know why, and I just always wondered what the problem was. And they sent me a piece of film of this house. I don't know when it was shot, but in the 70s. And you could see that it was derelict. Not derelict, but it was in a poor condition. So I thought, oh, that's the reason that they won't let me come. But of course, the real reason was that you know exactly where Ustilug is. Poland there, Belarus there, Ukraine here, Soviet Union everywhere. And of course, this was a military zone. So there's no way they were going to let a Western filmmaker come to a military zone. Dumb, you see. So that was the reason that they said, "Niet, niet, niet." But I got more and more curious about what really existed in Ustilug. And then suddenly, out of the blue, I think now 10 years ago, I got the invitation to come to the house. And I thought, oh, wonderful. So I wanted to come because I didn't know why it was not allowed to come before. So when I came, I mean, it wasn't quite as magnificent as it now is. I mean, they were still doing it. But it was very clear that this was going to be something very special, the house. And today, it's even more special because the only other house that Stravinsky ever lived in was in Hollywood with wife number 2. But that, when Stravinsky died, wife number 2 sold the house to somebody else. And they rebuilt it completely. So the Hollywood house doesn't look like it did when Stravinsky was there. This house now, thanks to the wonderful restoration work that has gone on, looks, who knows, exactly like it was when Stravinsky was here. But it's the only memorial now house to Stravinsky. So I felt that whatever I could do to support the work that they were doing was necessary. So, although I've been several times before, as you know, this time I think I've got something really special.